Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another declutter video and it's going to be a pretty big one. I'm going to try to do both of my high-end and drugstore affordable foundation and concealers in one. This is a drawer with my affordable makeup, their foundations and concealers here. And in this drawer, I have all my high-end products. This year, I feel like I've tried more high-end complexion products, and this drawer definitely needs to be downsized. So if you're new here, welcome. Hi, my name is Eve, and I love all things beauty. Here on my channel, I do try a lot of complexion products. Complexion products, definitely one of my favorite categories, and I do try and test a lot of foundations, powders, powder foundations, concealers. At the end of the year, I usually do declutters. I think I'm going to start from this top drawer right here. Here in this drawer, I have all my affordable foundations and concealers. These two foundations are from the brand Ordinary. This is a serum foundation and this is a coverage foundation. They look absolutely identical. However, the serum foundation is a much more hydrating formula and much more liquid. This coverage foundation has also a thin formula. However, it is highly pigmented. It gives you a very nice coverage and I really like this. I'm going to keep the coverage foundation one and I'm going to declutter the serum foundation. This is a tinted hydrator by Wet n Wild. It has squalane hyaluronic acid. This is a lighter formula and I would like to keep this for now. I have a purpose in my collection. This is one of my favorites. This is a CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream, especially for oily skin. This is in the shade 510. This shade is a really good match for me and this product has been repurchased multiple times for me guys in the past several years. It is BB cream, but it does have a really nice coverage for my skin. I feel like it does help me with smoothing my complexion a little bit and definitely giving me like a nice coverage. It's obviously a lighter coverage, but it is a formula that melts into your skin. So I'm definitely keeping this one. This is a Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is a well-known foundation. I've used quite a bit of this. I want to keep this for now because they just launched their formulated formula with a niacinamide in it. I do want to get that one, but I do want to keep this one for now. This is a pretty fresh hyaluronic acid foundation from ColourPop. The packaging, as you can see, is not the greatest. However, it's a beautiful formula. This is my really good color match. This is Fair 30N. I enjoy it and it looks beautiful on skin and it wears really well. This is another foundation that is absolutely favorite. This is a Complexion Crush Medium Coverage Foundation from Ulta Beauty. Ulta Beauty nailed this formula, nailed it. I'm so proud of Ulta Beauty for finally figuring it out how to do an amazing foundation. This formula is truly incredible and it performs like high-end product. I love this absolutely. This shade here is a light neutral. This is definitely more of my summer shade, but I love this foundation so much. If you guys think that my nails are different lengths, it's because they are, because I broke this one. I had to cut it down. So disregard. This is a Camo CC Cream from e.l.f. I do not like this foundation. I feel like it just sits on my skin and it settles into my smile lines. And the shade was not also a good match for me. This was a light 210 and it was definitely much darker than I needed. So I could only use it when I'm tan. I've used a good amount of this. As you can see, I tried to like it and find the way to make it work. And unfortunately, it still didn't work out for me. So I'm going to declutter it. This is an Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm. I have mine in a shade a light 10. Initially, when I tried it, it made me super oily, but then I gave this a few more tries and actually it is a beautiful product. It's definitely not ideal for an oily skin. I think this product is definitely meant for people with maybe like more mature skin. Somebody needs a little bit more hydration. So I don't think that I'm ideal skin type for this product. However, I still like it when I want like a really light coverage. But it does look beautiful on skin. It blends in really lovely. So I'm going to keep it for now. This is a True Match by L'Oreal foundation that was just recently relaunched, reformulated, and repackaged. And I just recently did a wear test video on this foundation. Amazing product. This is the best shade match I've ever gotten from a foundation. And it wears beautifully on skin. I love this foundation. This could be just like my new favorite. So definitely keeping. This is also a very new product that was just recently launched from Revlon, a Luminance skincare and foundation. I have mine in the shade 201, a pretty good match for my skin. It is hydrating formula. It has 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid. Beautiful foundation. That's all I have to say. And it just wears beautifully on my combo oily skin. Definitely keeping. So this is Infallible 24-hour fresh wear from L'Oreal. Mine is in the shade 405. I love this foundation. This is my really good match. I'm definitely keeping this. Two foundations are from Makeup Revolution. So they're both in the shade F2. I really love both of these formulas. I think I'm going to declutter the Conceal and Define formula because it's like an older foundation. I think it's time I declutter this. And I think I'm just going to keep this hydrating formula. I love this. So both of these foundations I'm going to keep. LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation is beautiful. Full coverage foundation, but absolutely beautiful on skin. Very long wearing, very smoothing. I have in a shade Natural. The Believe Beauty Foundation, I would like to keep full coverage foundation, but the shade is my tan shade. So if I wanted a full coverage foundation in summer, I would reach for this one. Then this CoverGirl Foundation, full coverage foundation, 24-hour wear, SPF 18, shade A10, Classic Ivory, really nice match for me as well. It does have a pump. I really love this foundation. It's great. I'm going to keep it. This one is a Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. It's a self-setting, beautiful foundation that does not require to be set with a powder, which I love. It's perfect for summer. Shade 180 is my really, really good match. It's confusing. Their shade range is a little bit confusing for their foundations, but I love it. As you can see, it's almost empty, so I'm going to declutter. This is a Physicians Formula Brightening Complex Foundation. This was in the shade LC1. I think I've had this for too long at this point, so I'm going to declutter this. This used to be my absolute favorite foundation, and I kind of don't want to declutter it, but I know this foundation is considerably old. And I also believe that this foundation is discontinued, if I'm not mistaken. This is a CoverGirl in LA Simply Ageless Foundation, Broad Spectrum 28, and then 210 Classic Ivory, my spot on match. This is how much I've used. It's practically gone. I'm going to keep it now, but this is going to be going into like my daily drawer when I'm going to try to use it up. If you've never tried this product and if you have combination oily skin, this is a must. Whenever I'm done with this foundation, I'm going to be repurchasing this like right away. This is a must foundation for me for summer season. This gives you a beautiful coverage. It's smoothing. It's super long lasting. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not exaggerating. This is literally the most long wearing product ever. However, it does not make your skin feel dry with hours. This is a pretty natural foundation from Essence. This is also a good match for me. A 040 neutral vanilla rather. I'm going to keep this formula. I really like it. It's a beautiful, affordable foundation. I do have also this Juvia's Place stick foundation, which I'm going to declutter. This is a full coverage foundation. It actually looks beautiful on photos. It gives you like this flawless canvas. However, in real life, it looks very cakey. In the past, I've tried stick foundations and I haven't had success with them. So I'm going to pass this along. I am going to be decluttering these 6 foundations. And now let's get into my concealers. I definitely need to get rid of some here. Let's start from these 2 here. Concealer from Ulta Beauty. This is a full coverage liquid concealer. I have 2 shades here, light neutral and light cool. I've used both of these a good amount. I really like this formula. It kind of has this like whipped texture that is very, very easy to apply, and it's quite long wearing. I had this probably close to a year or maybe just over a year, and I feel like the color starts changing. So I do not want to put that around my eyes. I'm going to declutter both of these. Here I have the Pretty Fresh by ColourPop concealer. This is in the shade Fair 20N. This is a very nice brightening shade for me, but not too brightening. I feel like it's just right. A lovely formula. I use this concealer a lot. I think like it's almost empty. Honestly, I feel like it's almost empty. I've been using it a lot this year. So I'm going to hold on to this right now because I feel like I can finish this in the next month or so. I have these 2 concealers from Makeup Revolution. They are the same Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer with hyaluronic acid. It's a medium to full coverage. The shades C6 and C3. C6 I've had for some time, and I think I'm going to declutter this. You can see it's like drying out here. So I'm going to declutter this one. And this one is actually sealed. This is a newer one for me. I'm going to keep this one. The Incognito by Wet n Wild, I am going to keep. This is in the shade Fair. It's pretty brightening shade, but at times I do need a full coverage concealer. So I'm going to keep this one for now. This Infallible Full Wear Concealer by L'Oreal is new. This one is in the shade Ivory 330. This is a really good like overall shade for me for like spot concealing, but I can also use it under my eyes. So I'm going to keep this. This one is by Juvia's Place. This is a number 19. Oh my God, I love this concealer so much. This is not my under eye concealer. I've never used this in my under eyes. It was my spot concealer, but I just found this concealer giving me the most beautiful, smooth coverage. If I would have a lot of redness and I needed to be looking flawless, this, this would give me a flawless coverage. I wanted to repurchase this, but I don't believe they have this shade anymore for some reason. I didn't see it online. This does look like it's full, but it's actually practically an empty tube. I'm gonna declutter this. I'm also gonna be decluttering this Maybelline Age Rewind corrector. I do not like this packaging, and it didn't really give me the coverage. It was definitely a brightening shade. However, I did not see that giving me a good coverage, and I did not want to layer it with something else. As you can see, I tried using it. It just didn't give me what I needed. For my needs. I do have some blueness under my eyes because I have a really bad sleeping pattern. I do get insomnia attacks from time to time. And when they come around, I just don't sleep for like a week or two at a time. So I get blue circles under my eyes from not sleeping. So this product didn't really do it for me. These ones I love. Both of these I love. So I'm going to keep both. So they're in two different shades. This one is porcelain and this one is light. This formula is lovely. It's very nice and light. It melts into your skin. I usually wear it when I don't wear any makeup, but I want to look like an alive person and not like a ghost. I love this for just no makeup days. A really lovely formula. And out of these two, I think I'm going to keep both of them. Both of these are very, very brightening shades for me. However, I still want to keep something like that in my collection. So these are going to be all my concealers that I'm keeping, and I'm decluttering these 5. Also here in the back of the drawer, I have this palette from Lottie London. It's called Color Click. I think this is still available. This is a color correcting palette. I totally forgot that I've had it, and I just saw it back there. Definitely use it quite a bit initially when I got it, but I haven't used it in a very long time, and I'm going to declutter it today. So I think I did okay. I definitely have more space here in my concealers in the upcoming year to try some new formulas. If you have a favorite drugstore concealer or foundation that I do not have and you think I should know about, let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's get into my high-end foundations and concealers. This drawer is definitely overfilled. I sometimes cannot even close it properly. I have to like shuffle things around. This is a Fenty Beauty Easy Drop Blur and Skin Tint. It's in the shade 5. I got the skin tint for a full face of a Fenty Beauty video. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't think it makes my skin amazing. It's okay just for casual wear. But I'm going to keep it for now because it's considerably new. This is Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This is actually one of my favorite foundations and has been for years. This is a good medium to buildable full coverage foundation. This is basically 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This is a pretty good shade for me. This is 2 Alabaster. It does have a wand like that. It looks like a concealer wand, but larger. Beautiful formula. I love this. It makes my skin look so beautiful. I just love how flawless the coverage is. It's definitely staying. So then I have 3 more. Let me just pull out my Cliniques here. So these 3 are staying. Even Better Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 15 from Clinique, Even Better Glow, and then Even Better Glow in different shade of WN30, CN2. This is definitely more of my self-tan shade. This is the CN2 is my actual shade at my palest, and this is also CN2. I just love all of these. They just make my skin look so pretty. I'm definitely keeping. There's another Clinique one. This is a super balanced makeup tint 03 Ivory. This is a really nice shade for me too. It's not the best match. My best match is CN2, like these two. So I'm going to keep this. I really like this formula as well. Let me just pick out all my Clinique formulas here because I like them so much. Okay, so this is like very new product to me. This is Stay Matte Oil-Free foundation. I really like this. This is in the shade CN20 Fair. I love this formula. It's matte, but it's not flat. It's not drying, and it's quite long lasting. I really like this. So I'm going to keep that. And then this is Even Better Clinical Serum Foundation in the shade CN28. A really nice match for me. This is really cool packaging with the pump here, looking like an egg almost. But I love this foundation. It looks so beautiful on my skin. I've used a ton of it. I don't think this product was launched this year. I think it was launched, if not last year, then a year before that. I've tried it this year, and I absolutely loved it. I've used so much of it this year. Here I have It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. This is an oil-free matte formula with SPF 50. This is in the shade Light, which is more of my tan shade, but I really love the formula. It just wears really beautifully, and it's also like non-drying matte formula, so I want to keep this. The Kosas foundation is one of my favorites this year. I absolutely love this. It just makes me feel beautiful. It does have a pump. This is in the shade Light Neutral 140. A really good match for me. I love this foundation. This is an LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation, another beautiful hydrating formula that just wears really well with my combo skin. I do need to set it with a powder one way or another and then possibly a retouch at probably about 3 to 5 hour mark, but this wears beautifully and it just feels on skin really beautifully. So this is a foundation that I think I'm going to declutter. This is a Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. This was in the shade 20NN. It was actually a good match for me, but I just feel like it was okay foundation. It was nothing special about it. And I think like I would reach for my other formulas over this one. I'm going to declutter this right now. This is another foundation I'm going to be decluttering. Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. This was in the shade Porcelain and it was supposed to be light, but I've had this for so long that this looks so dark. I think it's like expired and oxidized majorly. So I overall did not really like this foundation. It would accentuate my pores more so. So I did not love this at all. I'm going to declutter definitely. So this is another foundation that I will be decluttering. This was a very beautiful full coverage foundation from MAC Studio Sculpt foundation with SPF 15. This was a good shade match for me, NC 15, and this product is still available on the market. I've had this for probably 2 years now. It's definitely expired and I feel like the texture is becoming weird here, so I do not want to put this on my face, but it was a fantastic full coverage formula. This is by Lancome Tinted Doll SPF 15. This is a transfer proof foundation. This is in the shade 215 Buff N. I absolutely love this foundation. Thin formula, high coverage, wears so beautifully on my combo skin. Very, very long wearing, does not feel drying. I've used the heck out of this foundation this year. Definitely worth $47. Definitely keeping. This foundation I really love. It's a little bit deeper shade for me. This is from Lancome again, Skin Feels Good, SPF 23. I got this in a shade 02C Blonde, and this is such a beautiful formula. The shade is a little bit darker for me, more so my tan shade, but it is smoothing, it is hydrating, it is long wearing, it just all the good things, and I think they nailed this with the name of the foundation because it truly makes your skin feel good. I have just a little bit left. I'm going to use this up. This foundation I'm going to be decluttering. This is from Sephora. Beautiful formula, actually. Very beautiful formula, full coverage, very smoothing. I think it's just discontinued product. It's no longer available. This is in a shade Porcelain. It was actually my really good match too. I'm going to declutter this. Then this is a Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Foundation. This was in the shade Cashmere 06. This has a pump. This, for some reason, the pump was very messy. But you guys, this is just such a beautiful formula. It's very thin liquid formula, but has a very high pigment. So it gives you this beautiful coverage, and it would cover my redness very well. And it's also quite long wearing formula. I really love this, but I need to use this foundation up. I'll probably end up putting it in my daily drawer so I can really finish this product up, but I'm going to hold on to it right now. Anastasia Beverly Hills a Luminous Foundation I absolutely love. It's not an ideal formula for my combo skin, but it just really gives you this beautiful glow. I definitely need to powder it, but I really still like how it makes my skin look. Right now, I think I'm going to put this in my daily drawer because this is definitely a formula that I should take advantage of while we're in winter. While my skin is not as oily, so I'm definitely keeping this. This was actually in the shade 140N, a really good color match for me as well. This is a Best Skin Ever foundation from Sephora. It says anti-pollution, so I think there's a vitamin C in it in the formula. Mine was in the shade 10N, a really nice shade match for me. This foundation got really, really popular, I think, last year. This foundation sets really nicely by itself, so you don't really need to powder it that much. You might like dust it off if you're very oily, but I feel like this foundation is pretty long wearing. I really like this formula. I want to hold on to it. Here I have Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. I will be decluttering this. This looks pretty heavy on my skin and it settles into my smile lines. I do not like this. I will be decluttering this. This is a foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, beautiful skin foundation, and I got mine in the shade 3 Neutral. This was a little bit deeper shade for me. I could definitely go a little bit lighter. It's not my favorite foundation. In order for me to make this last on my skin, I have to apply very, very thin layer. Then it wears okay, but it's not my favorite formula, considering the fact that it is a high-end expensive foundation, but I'm going to keep it right now. I paid a lot of money for it, so I'm going to try to get use out of it. And this one is by Rare Beauty. This is Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer, SPF 20, and mine is in the shade 16C. To my opinion, this packaging looks really cheap while being sold at Sephora, so I think they could definitely step up their game with this and give us something a little bit better looking. This actually made it to my recent monthly favorites. I really appreciate that it gives you a little bit of smoothing effect and tones down your complexion because it is a tinted product. So I've been really loving it lately, but I couldn't use it in summer because it was definitely way more hydrating for me for my oily skin in here in Florida. So it's definitely not a summer product for me, but I will try to get a good use out of it in this season. So I'm going to keep this for now. This is a matte foundation in the shade Vanilla. This was actually a fun product. It was scented. However, it didn't irritate my skin. I really like the effect of this. It was a beautiful smoothing formula and it wore really well on my skin, but I wanted to use it recently and the texture of this foundation was definitely off. So I think it's expired. So I'm going to declutter this. I'm going to be decluttering these 6 foundations. Let's get into my concealers. I know there are a few that need to go here as well. Let's just start from here. I think it was called Apple Concealer or something like that from KVD Beauty. There's no name on the packaging, but I can't read this right now. The marketing for this concealer was all about this like foot applicator. I could care less for the applicator shade because personally to me it doesn't really matter as long as it's some kind of applicator that you just applied on your face, and then I still would blend out with a brush or a sponge all my concealers. So for me the shape of the applicator or doe foot applicator does not really matter. Let me know if it does to you. I would be really interested to hear your point of view. It was okay brightening shade for me, but it would not give me the full coverage. If it's a brightening concealer and if it's not a full coverage, so it makes your under eyes bright but you can see the blueness through. This really makes your blueness look worse than it was before. It's not that it is a bad formula. It actually is okay. It wears well. It doesn't do anything bad, but it just doesn't give me a full coverage. So I would declutter this. Let me just pull out things that I know I'm keeping for sure. LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer. Amazing hydrating formula. I've raved about this entire year. And this is another favorite Tinted Doll Ultra Wear All Over Concealer from Lancome. This was in the shade Ivory Cool. Definitely keeping this concealer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm gonna keep this. I like this formula. It's pretty nice and hydrating, but gives you beautiful coverage. Wears pretty well, but the shade matches my overall skin. I use this as a foundation, so I'm gonna put this here with the foundations. Here is another favorite Huda Beauty for Filter Concealer in the shade 2.3B Cotton Candy. You wake me up in the middle of the night, I would know this shade. I really love this concealer. It's just my absolute favorite. This one is a Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced. I'm gonna keep in the shade Swan. Really nice full coverage concealer that's not too brightening. The one that I'm going to declutter, this is from Fenty Beauty. This is a Bright Fix Eye Brightener and Illuminator in the shade Seashell 03. This product literally did nothing for me, you guys, and I really had a lot of hopes for it. For my needs and my preferences, my style of application, this product just does not work. It didn't give me enough coverage that I needed. It would brighten up my under eyes, but it wouldn't give me the coverage that I want. The fact that I need to apply it with my finger every single time, that just breaks my rules. I declutter this product is not because it is a bad quality. I've heard very good things about this product from other people, but for me personally, this does not work. I'm gonna pass this along. It's pretty new. So this concealer is new to me. This is from Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer and Eraser. This has this little sponge that I just do not use, but this is in the shade CN20. I really like this concealer. It's self-setting. I don't need to worry about setting this with powder, which can come in handy very much in warmer season. The fewer layers, the better. I love this concealer. I'm definitely keeping. So this is where I need to start getting rid of stuff. This is a by Pure 4-in-1 Sculpting Concealer with skincare ingredients. I got this concealer in PR. This is actually a great formula. Gives you coverage, hydrating, feels like skincare infused, like all the great things, but the shade is very yellow for me. So overall great formula, but not my shade. I'm going to declutter this. I'm going to keep the IT Cosmetics one, and I'm going to declutter the Clinique one because I did not like the texture of this one at all. It would just kind of clump up. I have these two concealers by Tarte. This is Ultra Creamy one, and this is Original Shape Tape. If you guys can see the color change here. So yeah, I'm definitely decluttering both of these. They're very old. I really love this Bare Skin by Bare Minerals concealer. This is a complete coverage serum concealer. I've had this in the shade Fair, an amazing formula that is hydrating. It gives you coverage, it wears well. You do need to set it with something because it is quite hydrating. Somebody with more mature skin, somebody who has texture, somebody who has like finer lines, wrinkles, things like that. I think it's a fabulous product. Something happened to this formula and it just started leaking outside. So I'm gonna keep this, but I'm gonna put this in my daily drawer vertically. That way it doesn't leak here in the drawer for me, but I'm gonna keep this. So here, these two I'm gonna keep. I'm almost done with this. These are almost empty. This is Bare Minerals, again, Stroke of Light Eye Brightener. I actually really like this formula. Again, very nice and hydrating. And then this is a Estee Lauder Double Wear Instant Fix. This side, it has like a Hydro Prep, basically like a serum for your under eye or around the eye. And here's a concealer. So actually really lovely product. So I'm going to keep that. I'm keeping 8 concealers with this one, and I'm decluttering 6. These are all the products, high-end and affordable foundations and concealers that I'm decluttering today. Guys, this sums up my video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it entertaining and helpful. If you enjoyed and loved this video, give this a big thumb up. It does help my channel out to show it to other viewers. And if you're not yet a subscriber, I invite you to click that subscribe button and notification bell so you do not miss any of my future uploads. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next videos. Bye.